Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Better Connecticut. I'm Kara Sundlin.
Scott Haney here. There was no one like Denise, Kara.
No, we're going to continue to remember her today, but also in a way that she would want us to continue to inform you and inspire you. But we want to share a little bit more about her. She had that magnetic energy. Everyone just gravitated toward her. It was never about her, but you just wanted to be around her because she was nurturing.
It was like she's a light. We're moths that went to the light. We're just
flat of the light, and she always made you feel better about yourself.
Absolutely. As we continue to process this tremendous loss, we're being encouraged to carry Denise's ideals forward. We must always cheer one another on. We must always be kinder and remember what's most important in life, our family and the ones we love the most. Of course, coming up in the next half hour, how those and whose stories she told are remembering her.
Yeah, and Denise, of course, family came first to her, but we were her television family. And I think it wasn't that she told you what to do, but she showed you what to do. And she always wanted us to be better. And that's something we're going to carry with us forever. So we wanted to share with you a little of what her colleagues in the newsroom have had to say.
She believed in everyone who worked in this newsroom, and she took the time to tell you that.
Whenever I did a live shot, and she would get a kick out of it, whether, you know, for whatever the crazy reason would be, backyard barbecue, or she'd send me an email, Joe, I just had to tell you, loved it.
Denise was always the first to say, you did a good job. Oh, you handled that so well, even though I didn't, you know. But Denise was always the person that you wanted to be with, whether you were at your lowest or at your highest. When you felt low, she raised you up, and when you felt great, she made you feel like you were at the top of the world.
Really true. And she loved her stories, and there was always a greater meaning for Denise, and she loved to do stories about health. She was so fat. She was really a champion of taking care of ourselves. And there was a man, Colby Salerno, and he took a big step back in 2012 with Denise D'Ascenzo by his side because he got a heart transplant. Yeah, he shared his months-long recovery, and it was pretty incredible because she made a story of it, and they actually won an Emmy for the story.
And you're saying, I remember, she gave the Emmy to Colby.
She gave it to Colby.
And now he's a doctor.
He is a doctor. But like all of us, he is grieving the loss of a woman who had an impact on his life. Let's listen.
I think the first thing that was noticeable was her kindness, and she just had a smile that kind of brightened the room, and she just wanted to hear my story. All over the state, people are going to miss her more than even just her friends and family.
Super.
Absolutely. Now, this morning, Dennis and I spoke to Mika Brzezinski, who, of course, used to work and calls Denise a mentor to her as well. She used to work here. She's the co-host of Morning Joe, and she made a beautiful tribute to Denise yesterday. But today we spoke with her because she really wanted to talk in her crusade. Mika has her program of Know Your Value, and Denise was certainly a woman who embodied that, of how to know our value, but really how to know it in the right way. So we want to share a little bit of that interview with you.
And when I think about Denise's legacy, it is incredible how many awards she has won. It is incredible, the span of her career, the span of her reporting. But all of that, Kara, it seems to almost diminish in light of her kindness, in light of the kind of person she was, which I really think came through in her anchoring.
Absolutely. You know, the way that she connected with the audience, it was all about the audience. And maybe today with social media, it's about this one-on-one connection more, but Denise has always been that way. When you were in the room with her, there are countless stories around here, from the interns to someone working in the mailroom to an elected official that remembers when Denise pulled them aside and they felt like they were the only person in the room, and she would, with her calm, amazing, reassuring voice, give them words of wisdom, and they always revolved around kindness.
I remember we went to Barbara Walters' retirement luncheon, and she said, I need to meet her because she was one of the trailblazers. And I used to say to Denise that you're a bit of a trailblazer, because I know she pulled you aside as a young reporter and gave you advice and nurtured you, and the same to Carrie, and she's doing that today.
Everybody, and she loved it when your news director became news director, Dana. She loves women getting ahead.
Yeah, referring to Dana Neves, who started as an intern and is now our general manager. But yeah, she really did. And that's something that we want to think of, that it wasn't about, we're in a very competitive business. It wasn't about competition with Denise. She was comfortable in her own skin, and she wanted to help other people get ahead too.
Absolutely. Friends and viewers have been sending flowers and food, and we thank you so very much for that. A public memorial after the holidays in January is being planned. We're going to bring you the details as soon as we get them.
Absolutely. I know all the viewers are wondering how they can remember her as well. And Denise meant so much to you at home as well. We're sharing your messages of sympathy that have been flooding in. Diane Z says, I wish there were words that could adequately express what Denise brought to our home every night. In a time when kindness and humility are so needed, her loss is felt even more. To honor Denise, let's pay her kindness forward to one another.
And Laura Steiner says, I just wanted to say how sad this news is for me. Denise was the Princess Diana of Connecticut. She will be missed by everyone. Yep. She really is the Princess Diana of Connecticut.
No, you said that yesterday.
I said it yesterday.
And it's like that. That's how we felt
exactly.
when we learned of her sudden passing. And so we're going to continue to honor Denise. But as we said, she would also want us to get back into the business that she loved of informing you. And there is something we need to talk about because there's a lot of weather headed our way.
There certainly is. Let's get a check on that forecast. Hi, guys.